Afternoon. This is Anushka Sinha from the Heritage Academy Department of Media Science, and today we have with us Miss Melinda Pavek, U.S. General of Kolkata. So, ma'am, I would like to begin by saying it's a lovely name, and it's a lovely name. So, my first question for you would be: it's known that Americans have some preconceived notions about Asians. So you have worked all across Asia. You have worked in Nepal, in Pakistan, and now in Kolkata. So what would you say about how the perceptions have changed from a personal point of view?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anushka. It's lovely to chat with you today. You ask a great question. The U.S. is an Indo-Pacific nation, is a Pacific nation, and has been for our entire history. The first U.S. Consul General to Kolkata came, he was nominated by our first president, George Washington, in 1792, and he arrived in Kolkata in 1794. That means that we have 230 years of history with Kolkata, which means that over the years we've had many different exchanges and many different interchanges. But the opportunities for Americans to travel in this region has varied over time. I'd say the most of the impressions that many Americans have about Asia come from international students that they get to know in university, or come from international workers that work in their companies, or come from their neighbors. India is very diverse. The United States is equally diverse. So you can live in any town in the United States and you will have a neighbor who is Hindu next to a neighbor who is Muslim, next to a neighbor who is Christian, next to a neighbor who is atheist. And they will, just like we do in Kolkata, they will celebrate all of those festivals together because it's a cultural meaning, not necessarily a religious meaning. And so I think that's why we advocate for students to come to the United States and share their diversity and share their experiences, because it makes the United States a richer place. And it also gives us more updated information about what's happening in Asia. From my experience, of course, I have served with the State Department for 19 years. And in those 19 years, I've had the opportunity to, as you mentioned, be in Nepal and be in Pakistan. I was in both Lahore and Islamabad. But I've also served in Brunei, which of course is on the island of Borneo, and also in Japan. So I also, in my undergrad, studied Mandarin Chinese. So I've done a little bit of everything in Asia. I've traveled extensively, and the one thing I can say as a commonality is people everywhere are the same, in that people everywhere are wonderful and people everywhere are horrible. There are wonderful people and evil people. There are people who are introverted and there are people who are extroverted. There are people who love their families and there are people who get angry over small little things. And so that's the thing I think we all have to realize as we travel, is that people are the same everywhere. And the more we recognize that the things that we love about other people are the things we love about ourselves, and the things that we hate about other people are the things that we hate about ourselves. And so the more we learn that, I think the more we experience the world in a positive way.
So, ma'am, the next question would be: this is your first time in this campus. So, how was the experience?
It was a wonderful experience. I will say that the students asked really good questions. When they were prompted, I understand, being an introvert myself, that fear of asking a question and that that sense that, oh, I don't have any questions, until somebody walks out of the room, and then you're like, oh, the 53 questions I had occur to me. Yes. So I think the students here were really wonderful, and they really opened up as we started to have longer time to talk. And so I look forward to coming back and answering more of those questions.
It would be our pleasure to have you back. So, a last question would be any message that you would like to give to the students?
I'd like to say to the students that the world is going to become what you make it. People my generation have done things to make things better, and we've done things to make things worse. That's the same as every generation before us. I hope that your generation are the ones who learn from all of our mistakes and who go forward in a way that will make the world a more wonderful place consistently. Because, of course, you have the benefit of wonderful technologies and wonderful tools and more prosperity in the world than has ever existed before. Don't despair when you listen to the news. Don't despair by what you see on social media. The world is a wonderful place, and it's waiting for you to make it even better.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for such lovely words. Thank you.